Let's go.
Yo.
Okay, here we go, boys. Reekz boxing with Steph, Richard. Thanks for coming.
Thanks for having me.
Professional now with the handshakes.
You're not shaking hands, man. What, is there some beef? I don't know about this.
There's a rivalry.
Hey, man.
What, how's life?
We kind of. we shook
secondary school, remember that. I remember.
We shook hands when we come in anyway.
Okay. Alright, so today, I think what we'll do, we talk about Saturday's fight between Deontay Wilder and Tyson Fury.
Yeah.
And yeah, get our thoughts on it. Like,
it's the only place we can start really this week.
That was a hell of a fight. Proper hell of a fight. So, only place where you damn right can start.
so let's start from the build-up. What do you think about the build-up?
The build-up was, I feel, was a little bit too far-fetched. It seemed like Fury was obviously getting into his head, but it just seemed so childish. It didn't seem like that. It didn't build up to what the fight was going to be. So I thought the fight was just going to be like a bit of bad blood, but it didn't. Like the build-up was literally just, it was piss poor.
Yeah.
I don't know. It felt like it was just Fury trying to get inside his head, and I think to some degree he did. The main thing.
Sure. I thought, I'm not gonna look at the camera.
The main thing was at the final press conference. It wasn't the weigh-ins. It was the final press conference when I think it seemed like it was gonna get a bit heated.
Did you see Tyson Fury's brother though? He was on
I got up with his crutches.
I see. Hey, he's a proper. Nah, I don't want to say the word, but you know, he's a proper. He doesn't look like he messes about. He gets down. Yeah.
I think like it. There was a moment when I think it was when Frank Warren put his arm in and touched Wilder's shot, and then from then it started to get serious. Fury took his shirt off, didn't he? And I think but for him, that's like when it starts to get serious, and it was going to kick off there and then, but yeah, that was the main talking point.
Yeah, that was the main focal point.
But don't you remember when remember their first like press conference almost kind of thing where, you know, Fury was like, you know, I want to feel the power. I want to feel the power. I think he pushed Wilder, didn't he?
Yeah, he did. Yeah.
And all that commotion, everyone jumping there, Fury's like dancing around the stage. Then do you remember in our group chat, there's a picture of them two sitting down together backstage.
That's what I said. It was a little bit too
I think I watched. They were on. Was it Good Morning Britain? Like when the fight first got announced. Yeah. I think there was. There
was some Good Morning Britain with Piers.
They were on a few TV programs, but I think that's the one I saw, and they were sitting there and they were just bigging each other up. Like Wilder was just full of confidence, like full of compliments for him.
That's what
I think Piers Morgan turned around to him and went like, are you actually going to fight this guy?
But that's when he went on his rant. Wilder went on a rant with Joshua, and he's like, you saw the contract, etc. Don't want to really dabble into the whole AJ thing, but yeah, it was more of like a kind of a verbal attack on Anthony Joshua. But them two seemed really pally throughout the whole build-up, but again, it's more than trying to sell the fight, really and truly, I would say.
Did you feel like, I know Anthony Joshua's kind of mentioned it this week, that Wilder overlooked Fury and they thought that it was kind of an easy win?
1000%.
Going into the fight.
1000%.
Because of the layoff.
Yeah.
Simply, his team knew that he hasn't got the boxing ability to beat the Fury that beat Klitschko. But the Fury that fought in his last two comeback fights, it's like, you know what? Let's catch him whilst his head's not there. He may be mentally over his battles, but he's not mentally there in the ring. And that's why I kept talking about sharpness. I just felt like he won't be sharp. Like, the whole part of fighting with, what was it, 10-ounce gloves at that weight, or 12?
I think it's
10?
10.
10?
Yeah, I'm not too sure. I think it's 10. But you're now getting hit with 16, 18-ounce gloves. You're now getting hit with 10-ounce gloves, and your brain needs to get used to that impact of getting hit. And he didn't really get hit in his first two combat fights. So to go in there and against who was it said he's the most fiercest? Was it Fury after the fight?
Fiercest punch
in heavyweight history.
I think Fury mentioned, like, because obviously he's trying. I think it was before the fight. He was trying to. and obviously he's trying to pick up his own achievements. But I think I said to you I think it was in a group chat, I think I said that I felt like, because Fury has basically been in camp for over a year by the time the fight rolled around. So like, I think they're saying he's had 2 years out and he's come back fights, and he's always someone, I feel, that raises his level
when it comes to the
opponent. Raises his level to the opponent. So I kind of felt, and I think I said it in my prediction on the channel, that I felt the noises coming from his camp, from Ricky Hatton, was that he was in shape and he was looking really good. And I know usually every camp says that this might have everyone.
Come on.
But he didn't seem to struggle with going the distance. I mean, he was the one pushing at the end of the fight. We'll probably get onto the knockdown, but he got up from that knockdown. I mean, Wilder probably he emptied the tank trying to finish the fight, and then I think he probably had a bit of an adrenaline dump because he thought the fight was over.
Yeah, exactly.
He was celebrating his adrenaline. He thought the fight was over. I mean, and he came back in with just the looping shot. I think if he took his time and maybe just hit some straights, I mean that's not Wilder, but I mean the looping shots that you could see coming from the back of the arena. I think he threw 2 or 3, and Fury to have he didn't seem to have no cobwebs at all.
No, not at all.
He was out. He was out. And all credit to Jack Reese, the referee.
Do you know what? I thought he would have stopped it.
That's
how many referees would have stopped it?
Topic that,
it's like, do you remember the Eubank fight when he fought the guy in the quarterfinals of the Super Series? That competition.
Okay.
I forgot what it's called.
Muhammad Ali
thing. And when he knocked that guy out, as he hit the guy, he's caught him. The guy kind of spun. As he's hit the ground, the rest waved it off, but he was still moving.
That's what I remember.
It wasn't after Abraham, was it?
No.
It was the fight after that, wasn't it?
Was it like the?
It was the vicious
European. It was
knockout.
European guy. I remember. I definitely remember.
But I think it's the third round. He was going for it, hitting him, and he was swinging. He hit him. The guy's swung. Because obviously, if you're swinging for a punch, you get caught. It looks bad because you're all in motion. He's hit the ground. The rest waved it off, and he's kind of got up because you could see the ref had the camera. So you could see it, and you're like. Didn't even give him a chance.
Jack Reese. He done very.
I think I see an interview with him this week, and he was saying first of all, if anyone gets hit with the right hand from Wilder and goes down like that, but then he got hit Wilder usually swings with the left hook but misses on the way down. But he connected on the way down, and I think I think Jack Reese said he didn't take a lot of punishment throughout the fight, and he said he wanted to give a champion as much time as possible. And there's a lot of talk about this 10 count. He said that it shouldn't be a 10 count shouldn't be looked at as 10 seconds. It should be looked at as the referee trying to determine whether the fighter who's been hurt can defend himself intelligently. And he said it's quite a new thing. What they do now is he says walk towards me, but he didn't say that. He said walk to the side. And walk back towards me. And apparently these specialists who have looked into brain injuries and concussions and everything else, it's if you're drunk, you might be able to walk in a straight line, but walking to the side and then coming back is something that tests. And if you look, he kind of Fury steps off to the side and comes back towards him, and then they say box on. And I don't think there was any argument. There's things going back, I think, what you said, Stefan, before we went live, about the Twitter. There's going back and forth between Frank Warren and Deontay Wilder. There's videos going around about counting.
The 10
seconds. Stopwatch.
Wilder's one starts. As soon as he's been hit with the second shot, it starts.
It doesn't hit the deck.
So I think this it's nonsense really, because everybody knows it's more than 10 seconds once they're up and the referee talks to them, because the same people who argue that it wasn't long, it was too short, too long, sorry, will turn around and say, oh, but too many fighters get hurt in these situations. They should have stopped earlier. Like, I think the referee, like, you could not fault him at all for the way he handled the fight.
I added Deontay Wilder. I saw it. I was like, you got punched around for 10 rounds. Only 2 rounds I gave it to you. So just shut up, man.
Did he block you?
No, he didn't.
How many people blocked you?
You're a bit
aggressive.
Monotone aggressive. I'm so monotone aggressive.
You're always adding celebrities.
I'm monotone.
Hey, you're shit, man. You're shit.
Yeah. My other point is though, like, in the 2 rounds that Fury got put down, would you argue that he came back and won those rounds? So could you score them 10-8 rounds, or would they be scored 10-9 rounds?
10-9.
Do you know what? Because he didn't rock Wilder.
Yeah.
It would still be a 10-8 rounds.
Yeah.
And do you know what? Yeah. Let's get into the fight. Yeah.
Going back to your point though, I was going to go back to your point. I think the Wilder camp really did underestimate Tyson Fury 1000%, because really and truly they thought it was just going to be a walk in the park, that you just unload on him with a lot of haymaker shots, and yeah, as you said, well, I think they definitely overlooked it. I just want to obviously clear it up. Tell that in the shower.
We going now. Sub you off. Pull his hamstring.
Trap no.
A few notes that we obviously make sure we don't miss everything when we're going over the points.
You want to start?
Again, I think we covered the 10 count. What about the judges' scorecard? That's
alright. The scorecards.
Because that Mexican.
You're right.
You're about to get into it. No, that Mexican judge. He I didn't realise, and I read about that he done the Triple G Canelo fight.
Really?
He did.
Oh my god.
The Mexican guy.
Wait, the Mexican's the one that gave it a draw.
The Mexican one gave it the first fight. They gave him. I think he gave it. No, he did.
What was he? You're talking about the Wilder fight, yeah?
Yeah, the Wilder fight.
He gave the 115.
The 115 one, yeah. So the 115
111. The Welsh one gave it a draw.
He gave it a draw, yeah.
Oh, okay.
So the Mexican guy gave the Canelo and Triple G. He basically gave the most outrageous scorecard on there as well. So
like
that, yeah.
I mean, there's being crooked and there's being like really
big
about being crooked. Like,
I don't know how they keep getting away with it. Like we're bad at our jobs. Yeah. You get pulled in the office.
Yeah.
Like this is a major fight, big fight. I know there's so much money involved.
Yeah, there's so much.
Like the future fights as well. When it's so obvious, like what's happened is like how can you?
That is shocking.
You know what I mean? It's almost like it's just.
I mean, the draw.
I can understand.
I can kind of. Yeah. I can like because how many. Like apart from the 2 knockdown rounds, how many other rounds was it? 3 that you had to give to Wilder for him?
I can give that because
or 2 was it for a draw? I'm
not good on the maths. It would have been 3. And the thing is, a lot of people are saying that it was clear, but I don't think it was clear.
I agree with you. When we were talking about it, that the whole like Tyson Fury in the first early rounds was doing all that kidology stuff, like putting his hands behind his back.
They might not like that. And American judges. I mean, this was a over here, to be fair, but they look for
aggression.
I think I saw somebody with an interview. I think it was Bernard Hopkins' old. What's his Hazim?
I seen the one with the
Richardson.
Yeah.
He was saying that he thought that the way they score it, he saw the way they would score it, he saw Wilder winning. So by that I mean like some judges favour the aggressive, like more power shots. It just seems to be these like.
But again, those copybook stats, those judges don't see. So the whole again, I was reading into it.
I'm not a fan of
yeah,
it doesn't tell the
doesn't tell the true story. But even though I read that Wilder only threw 17% power shots, landed 70% power shots on.
I think. Yeah, but how many did he throw though?
So many.
No, but
so many.
You got to look on.
Yeah, but his usual numbers up around 40%. I think
it's meant to be all this. Oh, it's like this is the lowest it's ever, and you got to give credit to Tyson.
But do you know what? Yeah, this is why I feel the fight was close, because a lot of judges and like fans, we give credit to what somebody's good at. So when you watch Mayweather fight, like look at the Mayweather-Maidana one. Maidana threw so many punches. If it wasn't Mayweather, you might have given it to Maidana. For the punches landed alright. There's a lot of illegal shots, but he outworked him. He done everything. But Mayweather got the decision because his defense was tight, and he started working him, and he was accurate when he did throw his shots. So we're like, okay.
And the thing is, sorry to interrupt, but like,
don't do it again. You know what I mean, bro? I'm on a roll, man. Stop the camera. Stop the camera. To be fair, you really like. I get dropped. Feet up here. Yeah?
Like with Mayweather, I think the work that Maidana does do, like or did in the fight, you feel like it's not landing. Like you feel like they're not clean shots, even though they could be. But like because it's
Mayweather, and he's there taking it.
Yeah,
and it's the point that I made as well about the whole giving credit to someone for what they're good at.
Yeah.
So Fury, he's good at defense. He's making him miss all day long.
Yeah.
But then because maybe the American judges don't know Fury for his defense, they're not giving him credit for making him miss. They're just thinking Wilder's pressing the fight. He's making him miss 3 shots in a row every time. Like you slip the jab, duck the right hand, and then roll out from the left hook. Obviously, that's the punches that eventually got him in the end. But they're not really giving him credit for it. And when a lot of people are saying Wilder, like he lost like the first 8 rounds, blah blah blah. And I think you showed me the computer box stat. Yeah, it showed that Wilder landed 4 punches in the first round. But I'm like, no. For me, I gave Wilder the first round. Simply because he came out, he threw 3 unanswered shots that landed. They were all body jabs. Maybe 2 or 3. 2 or 3, I'm not 100% sure, but he landed like 2 or 3, and then the 4th body shot he threw, he came over with the right hand. I'm like, okay, why is he not getting credit for that? And he done it throughout the whole round. All right, Fury caught him in the last 10 seconds where he wobbled him. Everyone's like, Fury won the round because he made him miss. But Wilder landed clean shots. And I'm like, going back to the Collier Ward. I gave Ward the first fight, or possibly a draw, simply because of his body work. Wilder done a lot of good body work in the first 3 rounds that people gave to Fury. I'm like, but if that was Andre Ward, you're giving him the first 3 rounds because he broke down the body, right? He might have got caught with 1 or 2 shots, but he was breaking down the body, the body jab. Ward gets credit for it. Mayweather gets credit for it. Wilder didn't get no credit for his body work in the first 3 rounds. And that's where I say, for me, round 1's Wilder. And then rounds 2 and 3, it was close for me. It could have gone either way. If you go with the judge that got a draw, you give those 2 rounds to Wilder, then 4 to 8 Fury, then obviously 2 points for the knockdown, then 10-11. That's 113, 113.
That's what I'm saying. I'm not arguing with the...
You know what I mean?
And going back to what you said, like judges, but then you're looking at the scorecard of the British judge who probably would know what Fury's about, sort of thing. I knew what to expect, but maybe in a heavyweight fight, they're not looking for
body shots. Like Ali never threw a body shot, did he?
No, but like maybe not so much body shots, but like maybe the defensive, elusive, like because, and I think that's because that is a thing on defense is like something that is meant to be scored upon as well. Like so, like you could argue that okay, but like Fury did use his defense, so maybe you could throw it around to him like because of that, and then it's ring generalship. So I mean, Wilder was pushing him back, but then you've got to look at the kind of narrative of the fight.
When Mayweather's moving backwards, slipping, they say he's in control. Fury's moving back. How the judges have looked at the American judge. Fury's moving back, slipping shots. But he's not in control. Yeah, but it's just.
I feel like it's like there's always like these narratives to the fight that you kind of have a feel of who's getting their own way.
Yeah.
Like Wilder's coming forward, but he's not looking like he looks scatty. Yeah, and he looks uncomfortable. He looked like uncomfortable. And Fury looked like that's where he wanted the fight to go. Like he wanted that. So it's the narrative of.
Wait, your time, you're
talking. But what Fury was doing was what Fury was doing was basically every single time that Wilder popped the jab, you could see him loading up with that right hand. You could see it from just drop back, literally just drop back, and then go into a shot and literally just do his little roll that he does. So it was kind of predictable in terms of what what Wilder was doing. So that's why I got said, like what Richard's saying is that I agree with, is that some people looking judges, they look for that whole slipping. Like if you miss shots and you take you slipping shots, you've got to get scored for that. I think maybe you've got to be getting scored for that. It's not.
But you know what it is? There's two types of like defense. There's defense, and then they call it negative defense. So if you're just slipping and moving, but nothing's coming back, they won't score you anything for it, because that in defense is a negative defense. If you're just slipping and then you're trying to counter, maybe you might miss the counter, but you're getting almost a point, you could say, for slipping and trying to counter. But if you're just slipping and getting out of the way, it's kind of like, well.
Yeah, but then I think if you're slipping and it looks better than if you've just got your hands up on the ropes and get nothing might be getting through. But from a certain judge's perspectives, like it looks like if you're catching the jab there, but it's like rocking and your head's, or you're moving your head back like that away from punches. So it looks like if the judges you've got your back to the judge, it looks like the shot could have scored. Like. I mean,
so small here. Let me put myself. Little man syndrome. Yeah? I'm not that short, by the way. Yeah. I'm like 5'7", 8, 9, 10. It depends on camera.
In heels. Would you say like that? I mean, this is a bigger discussion now, but would you say they need to look into the way fights are scored? Would you have a fourth judge looking on maybe like a TV screen?
Yeah.
I mean, I think replays can favour different. I mean, cut out replays because replays can favour one fighter or the other.
Depending on the angle.
That's a very, very good, interesting point that you said there. I think that's right. I think.
No, do you know what? Sorry.
It's
alpha male right here. You know what I mean? No, but I think they should almost adopt the amateur system in a way where you have 5 judges around the ring, but not the amateur style where they take the score from all 5, and then if one judge scores the other person 4-1, it's like a split decision. Not like that. I mean, like you have 5 judges scoring the fight, and then could almost be like bingo. Like they pull the 3 names out of the hat. Right, these 3, and we take their 3 scorecards, and then they're the 3 that have judged the fight, and we go off their scorecards.
What, for the whole fight, or just round by round, or?
I say the whole fight.
Okay.
Well, that's interesting.
Yeah,
I haven't seen the amateur style of scoring, so.
No, but that's not foot. But I'm just saying with the amateur, there's 5 and they use all 5. Okay. I'm saying with this, have 5 around the ring, and then at the end, you take 3 of the judges' scorecards, and then you go off them 3.
I mean, with technology nowadays, you could have somebody sitting in like London and scoring a fight in New York, or LA or Las Vegas. I mean, you don't need like.
No, but you don't want it it has to be live.
I understand that. And I feel there is a difference between like, and I feel like if you took away live judges, it would take something away. But also, do they get caught up in maybe the atmosphere as well, and the sort of, if there's a bigger, more fans for like one fighter, do they get caught up in that? Like,
what do you mean?
Does the atmosphere,
or the ones that are there?
The ones that are there, do they get caught up?
Definitely.
But
they shouldn't do.
Like, yeah, but it's almost impossible not to. I mean, if you're sitting in a room just with a screen, no sound, just watching the fight.
Yeah.
I mean, as a fourth judge, like you could have like just as a supplementary kind of thing, maybe no replays, because I feel like TV companies could favour one fighter or the other.
But that point there is that it will always go to a decision. There will never ever be a draw, because if that fourth judge is going to be there, and they're going to have to give it to one fight or the other. Yeah, it's going to be that there isn't actually going to be a draw. But the whole thing
it could be though. If it's 2-1, and then That's 4. 2 and 2.
I mean, you probably narrow down the chances of draws, I suppose, but.
Yeah, because as you say, when you watch, depending on what network you watch it on, you just get drawn into the commentator. You listen to what they're saying. Oh, look at that. Great right hand by Wilder. And you're like, that didn't land. Like, we've even been at boxing events and you're watching it and then the guy's throwing a shot and you're like, ooh. And then after, you're like, someone else over there, oh no, he missed. You're like, did he miss?
That's the angle as well. Like, even the TV has them problem with that issue, like where you could.
But then that's why you have the judges around.
Yeah.
And that's why the scoring is usually so different because you've got a judge from different angles that are watching it. If a judge is looking up and all you can see is the back of Fury in the ropes, he's slipping, the right hands are coming, he's dipping his head down, he's going over, he doesn't know if it's landed.
But if he like spurs back from punches, like it might look from the back of his head like he got connected, like and then the atmosphere like you're gonna assume that I don't know, how do you score it? Do you have to do you play like I have to actually see it to score it, or I mean, what way? Like, where's the correct system? Like, I mean, there's only 3 judges, like, but there's 4 sides of the ring. So I mean, I think probably 4 judges live and one in the TV screen. But there's more people to bribe. More people to bribe. I mean,
yeah, very true.
Someone's slipping into the
studio. Going back to that judge, do you think that judge should be allowed to officiate again, really and truly?
I mean, he's got a poor track record. I mean, like, he's on somebody's payroll.
Yeah. The WBC's payroll.
That's right. WBC is a Mexican foundation, but
yeah, but you got to think about it. With Triple G, Canelo, they wanted Canelo to be the poster boy. WBC. This fight here, they didn't want Wilder to be the guy. They want Wilder to keep the belt, but fight Joshua. Because in a way, they don't really mind who wins because Wilder's marketable because of his character, and Joshua's Joshua. Everyone in the world knows who Joshua is. Like, you could, like, everyone knows who he is. So it's a thing of like.
But then the thing is, like, I know Fury can be controversial, but I'd say he's the biggest personality probably in boxing. Like, he's
definitely
100%.
Like, there's nobody like him, like, and I think he's won like over so many people. Like, I mean, like.
Yeah, it was so much bigger than boxing, and his message throughout the whole
mental health thing.
Yeah, and as I say, like right now with mental health, like a lot of men are coming forward talking about it openly. Like, you know what? I have anxiety, and people are like, so do I, and it's like, we're gonna deal with this. It's not such a stigma.
Do you know what? I was harsh but true. Like, for me, I was speaking to someone about mental health, and I used to say, like, you just wake up and get over it. I had that like mentality in myself. It's like, it's one of those things. And someone sat down and broke it down to me. It's like, no, it's deeper than that, proper. And I was like, shit, like. So when he's coming in, he's talking about I'm fighting for mental health, and
this isn't like somebody off the street or like somebody who. This is the heavyweight champion of the world.
The baddest man on the planet.
Yeah. Coming in and saying, oh, do you know what? I've got these problems. Like, I struggle. Like, I mean, there's nobody else who can like deliver. Like, who else is bigger enough to deliver the message? Like,
and just what he done as well. He donated his apparently donated his purse bid to homeless people.
Yeah, I heard that he was going to do that before. Personally, I'd like him to set up. He probably has, because a lot of boxers, their management have their own charity set up. I'd like him to do it for his own charity. I don't want him to just give his money to another company and let them just CEOs take their cut and that. I want him to actually put it in. Anyway, we're digressing. Let's go to the first knockdown. What did you think?
First knockdown, Fury was off balance. Didn't look like it was hurt. Kid on the G with it when he put his hands behind his head. Yeah, again, it was a shot from Wilder that probably just out of nothing really. And Fury was off balance, just hit him on the back of the head.
What do you think?
Yeah, I think what you said, you called it kind of right in your reaction to the fight, your immediate reaction to the fight, where it was Fury just trying to duck under a punch and just got clipped around the back of the head. I think he probably wasn't. He's not really, as you said earlier in when we was talking, that he hasn't the 10 ounce. What is it? 10 ounce gloves, 12 ounce gloves. He hasn't probably been hit around the back of the head, like so. You know, it's like
big guy,
messes up your equilibrium.
Yeah,
like
6'9",
yeah.
6'9", big guy, ducking down like that, you get clocked like that.
I think it was more it wasn't a heavy knockdown.
But do you know what annoyed me about that? Because when you look at how the fight ended, just before that happened, he was gloating him. As he went back, he kind of like showed up to him and then ducked. Yeah. The second time he ducked, he got clipped and went down. And like, you've just cost yourself the fight by almost switching off for that second. I know that he has to do it to get into his head, but you had Wilder right where you wanted it. He lost his head. Yeah. You almost gave him the confidence
to say that,
to carry on.
Yeah,
and
100%, I agree with it.
I got to give it to Wilder. That jab, right hand, left hook was missing all night, but he kept throwing it. Like, and that's why I say I give him so much credit, because that was obviously their game plan, and he stuck to it. Yeah. Even though they didn't seem to have a plan B, they stuck to the game plan, and he kept it. In my predictions video, I knew that he'll catch him at one point. He just got to be patient. Just don't lose his head. And I did predict in my video 9th round, and that's when he clipped him.
I remember when he knocked it. I remember you're like thinking about your prediction video and I thought, like, hold on a minute. It was like, I was like, oh, hold on a minute, like
Houdini. Yeah.
But
and I was sleeping, by the way. I'm devastated. How did I fall asleep and miss this fight?
Mad.
Obviously, I watched it back. I watched it back at like 6 in the morning. Yeah. Then, because I couldn't get back to sleep, I watched it again at like 8, and I watched it again at like 10, and I watched it again.
You watched 4 times?
I watched it. I was just.
I've only watched it twice.
I was really impressed, but because I'd given my immediate reaction, and then when I watched it, because when I first watched the fight, I was like, oh, robbery. Watched it back, and I was like, no, do you know what? This is not a robbery. Like, Wilder's actually doing alright. And then the third time I watched it, I thought, let me kind of score the fight, like how everyone likes to score a fight. I looked, I was like, oh, that round's close. That round's pretty close. And then when I got to the end, I was like, if I've given those 2 rounds to Wilder, it's a draw.
Yeah.
And they were close. But if I've given them to Fury, he wins by 2 rounds.
Yeah.
So it's like,
cut cross, really.
Yeah, it's just, I don't know, man. Like, but yeah, for that knockdown, I just feel like he just switched off. Like, it was annoying to watch it back. It was just like, it was silly. As you say, he was clipped. Obviously, there's fine margins in boxing where, you know, you're gonna get clipped. He's gonna whistle past you. He's gonna adjust the angle on his punch. It's gonna clip you, and yeah, he wasn't phased though. Got back up and just carried on.
Do you think he?
What, in the 9th or the 9th?
Do you think he closed? It seemed like he closed out the round very, very. He literally, as soon as he switched, he got clipped. You realised, like, okay, cool. That was so funny. Got back up.
Chale.
He got back up, and it was like, okay, cool. Switch back on. And he looked like he took over that round. Every commentator, I was watching it on Showtime. Showtime even said.
Influence now, yeah.
I prefer listening to Paulie Maginali in terms of his comedy. He's the guy. He's literally spot on. He gives it how it is, really and truly. So they even said, all 3 of them said basically, Fury closed out that round very, very well. So it was very, very close. But again, really and truly, the knockdown favours the person that's knocked down. So what's it called? Wilder does get the 10-8 nod. I would say.
Yeah. So then obviously it's taken back over. Round 12.
Undertaker.
wait.
It's like, even I thought from the
Cardiff,
from the
Cardiff. Should we throw that in the edit? We still got that.
Don't know if we still got that.
Rich, you're right. Wait, you've been out for 2 or 3 hours, bro. Rich, you okay?
Let's go.
Are we allowed to put that in?
Stay professional.
Talk boxing now. Go.
Going into the 12th round, I don't know, like, I kind of felt like, I don't know, I just had this thing that, like, okay, like, I felt the fight was kind of done. Like, I don't know, like, it just felt like the same narrative was going to play out, like, and then it was quite early in the 12th.
Yeah.
And it's just, I think maybe even Fury felt, oh, the fight's done now, and then bang, like it came out of
nowhere.
Yeah.
But Paulie said something. I think it was like, look, what you said in terms of what he was using, that tactic all night. It's like the left hook is there to be landed with on Fury, and then from what I just remember him saying that. As soon as he hit, I saw the knockdown. I was like, Paulie, man, you jinxed it. You jinxed it. But that again, like, just I don't know if he just threw that out of just desperate that he was losing the fight, but I don't know. It just that punch came out of nowhere, man.
Do you know what I think as well? Like, what was happening, where he had lost his composure from early, and he was getting way too close. Like, he should have landed the jab. He didn't need to jump in with the right hand. He kept jumping in with the right hand, like the overhand right, and then he's on top of Fury. So when he's here, when he's throwing the hook, he's way too close to get anything. But that's
smothering his work.
Exactly. Yeah. But the 12th round knockdown, that was
the one time
that he didn't get close. He's thrown it. Fury's ducked. In every other round, it's going over his head. But this one caught him flush where he's ducked down, and then obviously he was gone already. Then the left hooks hit him. That was wasted.
Wow.
Grand Theft Auto.
That was wasted. That was a wasted moment.
I don't think I've seen like somebody get up from a heavier knockdown. Like the way he got up was just, I don't know, like it
was amazing.
He was gone.
It was some gypsy magic. The gypsy curse. Like someone had like someone had like a gypsy voodoo doll and was like, nah, up. And
have you seen one of the see, like when they make obviously got the one where he comes out to the Undertaker music, they got the snatch one.
Yeah, the snatch one.
He goes down, he goes, what he needs to do now is stay down.
But
he was gone. Like he was gone. Like his eyes had gone. And I was thinking, why is the ref counting? Like he's counting over in 4. Obviously, with all the controversy that they're talking their shit anyway. If you see, as soon as he's gone down, the timekeeper outside the ring, is a woman. Yeah, it's a woman. It's a woman.
Yeah, the hair is
1, 2. So obviously, whilst Wilder's gone, he's looked, and then he's come 4, 5.
Picked up the count from the woman, like.
And then it was almost like you actually saw Fury's like his body just
lifted up,
and then he just got up, and you're just like, what?
The ref said as soon as he said 5, it's like that 5 woke him up. He said his eyes opened open, like he said, like he was trying to see, like he said he could see his like grimacing, and he said at 5 it was like I said 5 and it woke him up. His eyes went boom, and then he just started to get up.
It's like he almost realized where he was.
Yeah,
like he's out cold 5, and then his brain said, "Fuck, get up! You're in a fight. You've been knocked down. Like, get up!" And that was incredible,
mate.
Incredible. And then for maybe around 5 seconds after, I think Wilder's landed like a left hook.
Yeah, kind of straight, like literally straight away. His hand just came down. He just went bang, the left hook. I was like, it just fell back on the rope. I think I screamed. I've never screamed hold like that. I screamed like my whole block. I was like, hold like that.
But he didn't.
He didn't.
He didn't.
He didn't. Actually,
had his hands up.
He had his hands up and then literally just took over the round again. Yeah. Took over the round.
I mean, what kind of impressed me is like Fury. Everyone expected him, to do like in the Klitschko fight. He kind of hit and held a lot.
Yeah.
And I thought like he would do that in this fight because he was the weight difference.
Yeah, just
the size difference.
Yeah.
Like
I think he should have.
Tire him up.
Yeah.
And like Deontay Wilder, he's been 12 rounds once in his career.
Yeah, Mr. Bone.
And then like, wouldn't you think? Like
it'll be the easiest.
This guy doesn't do 12 doesn't do 12 rounds. I'm gonna, and I mean he did like. I've said it earlier. I don't know if it was an adrenaline dump that he thought the fight was over, or he did try and he like literally
that look on his face
out. He threw everything at him to try and
knock him out.
And that was it. Like I think he was gone at the end of it. And to be honest, like Fury probably could have even stopped him towards the end of the fight because he was that tired.
It's literally like what's it called, the Ortiz fight. He was proper leggy.
Yeah. He was like,
no, it wasn't that bad.
It wasn't that bad.
Come on, bro. Reaching, bro. Reaching.
But
yeah, do you know what that all boils down to? It's conditioning.
got back up, and he was the better conditioned man to go through the fight.
Right. And everybody was saying like, oh, he's had 2 years out, like, and the way he boxed, like, this is the thing that I wanted to talk to you guys about. Like, apparently, Andy Lee went back to the Fury changing room after, and Fury's camp was showing him pictures that under the ring canvas they had like a 4 or 5 inch, it was like a mattress almost of like foam and stuff.
To slow him down.
To slow Fury down.
That's what Klitschko tried to do.
Yeah, it's what Klitschko tried to do in Dusseldorf.
I didn't know about that.
Like, they stripped the ring away and put in like a firmer canvas. Like, they said they tried to do it because obviously it just weakened, like, tire out your legs. Like, so, I mean, all these like underhanded tactics and like the little differences that thing makes him fight. Like,
that's
like they were going back to like the Rumble in the Jungle where Ali like loosened the ropes so he could lean further back. Like, it's like these little things can add up. Like, but obviously, like they attempted to
at that level though. You just think you can't get away with that kind of stuff. Like,
but obviously, people do. Like, it's down to his camp that they had the strength to go forward and actually challenge it and say, "Hold on a minute."
Margarita with the wraps, that changed boxing. From there, everyone's watching what's going on there.
I didn't realise that. I know I remember the Klitschko, he's like the fight, I think it was a video, it's like the fight's off, blah, blah,
I
blah.
remember that.
And you saw how thick the foam was.
Yeah.
He pulled out the foam.
They said it was thicker than the Klitschko one.
It's crazy.
Like, and they had pictures of it. He said it was thicker than the Klitschko.
That's crazy,
That's
man.
mad.
Yeah.
That's absolutely crazy. That's not good, man. That just puts a damper really on there. The whole.
But I mean, fair play to them. They got it changed.
One thing that I read about Tyson Fury is that he kind of assesses everything. He goes and that's what he done with the Klitschko, and I think that was the video was when he was trying to bounce around. You saw like the whole thing was like he's literally when he was bouncing, he's like his foot was like being absorbed into the actual canvas. So he goes around and I think he goes into the ring. I didn't see it this time, but he goes into the ring and he's there. He assesses every single corner. I think even in Dusseldorf, he didn't drink their water. It's like drinking nothing. I bring my own shit. I don't want to be tested positive for anything.
I mean, like, it's the difference. Like, if you've ever like ran along the beach, like where the water's coming in and it's hard surface, you feel like you could run all day. If you run on dry sand, your legs are just. It's the difference, like that can. And obviously, he did go the whole 12, so that made the difference. Like, I mean, especially with his style of fighting.
What about the post-fight interviews?
I think.
No, not even the post-fight interviews. You know when they talk about body language, quickly just to pass on it. As soon as the final bell went,
you can see Fury 41, Wilder 40 lost.
Yeah, like it's not even forget Fury because everyone acts like they've won. Just look at Wilder. As soon as the bell went, he kind of walked
deflated.
Yeah, he's just like, I've lost my title.
Yeah,
like he knew he'd lost, and his corners come in and. They're just like, do you know what, it's alright, we've got a rematch clause. That's what they're probably going to go, it's alright, we've got a rematch clause, more money, doesn't really matter.
Even though when the draw was announced, he then glows like, I thought I won the fight, I put it else like, really?
Actor.
Yeah.
I think another thing that like Fury has to be given credit for is that he like kind of calmed the situation down.
That's what I was gonna say.
Because a lot of people said that there was a lot of like travellers there that would have like actually
ripped off
the arena.
Yeah, like, and they were ready like to go.
Yeah, I
and
heard that,
he kind of like calmed everybody down, went to his brother and he calmed like because like I think, and he did handle it like he said, I've got to handle it like it's a gentlemanly sport. I've got to handle it like a sportsman and just say like
the whole thing. He felt so calm. Like,
but he was so confident in the ring afterwards. Like, you know who the best heavyweight in. He still said, you know who the best heavyweight in the world is. Like, you know who won the fight. Like, I mean, these noises weren't really coming from Wilder.
No, not at all.
And then like Wilder started talking about the 10 counting, but this was at the press conference.
The official one.
Yeah. And there was a quote from Wilder that I found a bit strange. He said, like, I can't remember who he kind of said it to, or he quoted, like, he said, like, I think it was that Stephen A. Smith. I think, you know,
that guy's a clown.
He said something like, even sometimes when you lose, you win. So I don't know if he's taking it like a loss or like I feel yeah. I mean, like he came out with that quote, like so.
Do you think a Wilder would accept the Fury of that performance?
I mean, from me, like I
don't think he should. I think he should go for Joshua, get the big payday, and then they could potentially do Fury 2. I feel like if he fights Fury, and Fury's even better this time against him, makes him look silly, it loses the appeal. It uses the Joshua appeal.
I think the payday's still there. Like, well, not the payday, the match is still there, but it's not going to be as good of a payday. The big loser in this is Anthony Joshua, because these two have come out of it, like, I mean, whether Wilder's come out of it like looking good. I mean, Fury's come out looking amazing. And everybody's talking about him, and like, but Anthony Joshua's come out on kind of like, nobody's really. Like, I mean, before the fight, everyone was like, "Oh, he's the #1 heavyweight in the world." All of this, and now, like, I think, like, I think you can't say that anymore. And I don't think he's the A side. I think that it's kind of like all three are on kind of.
He said the same thing. He's like, you know my terms now. When I make this Joshua fight, it's going to be 60-40 to me. That's what he said.
Yeah, and that's what he asked for before the fight. Then he got in the ring and said, "Look, this is why it's 60-40."
Who said that? Fury?
Yeah, before the fight, when he was obviously negotiating, because Eddie Hearn goes, "Oh, like Fury, he priced and stuff like that. He wanted 60-40. No way he's getting that." So he went in the ring and just showed you why it's 60-40. Like, I'm the man.
I mean, he said afterwards, like, I think it was on the Good Morning Britain thing that he called out Anthony Joshua and he said, like, this is the biggest fight in Britain right now. And it would be massive. And I said, people were saying, oh no, Joshua against Wilder would be a bigger fight. I was like, come on, have you met, like, have you seen an interview with Tyson Fury? Like, do you know how big the build up will be? Like, it's a domestic like rivalry. Like, do you know how big? Like, seriously, like they take it
the whole of Britain
in this country. Like, it's
and British fans are the best fans.
Yeah,
like they travel. They travel well, but even when they're over here, a British fan can see someone from another country fight and give them credit. They all turn around and say, do you know what, they've won. Where a lot of the Americans, I'm using America because obviously the fight happened in America, they back their man no matter what. Where we're like, do you know what, like,
well, honestly,
Kell Brook's, you know, he's my man, he's our man. When he fought Spence, you just got to hold your hands up. You're like, do you know what?
I was there, mate.
I was meant to go. Let's not talk about that. Anyway, I went to a wedding, so, you know.
Yeah, I was gonna. That's an interesting topic. I said, Tyson.
Ian, I love you, by the way. Don't worry about that little side. I watched the fight at your wedding. Ian, like, come on, Ian.
Like Kaboxing, mate.
But the thing is, like, looking at it from like American fans. How many American fans before this fight were like would know, like, not maybe fans, but know who Deontay Wilder is, really. Like the general American public. Like,
or even Fury.
Oh, when he went out on the street.
Oh my god, he went on the street. It's like, do you know who Deontay Wilder is? Like, it was like out of 20 people, only 2 people knew who Deontay Wilder was. Again, he even said, that's just gonna, if he beats me, it boosts his popularity, and he's an unknown heavyweight in America. That it's not even that he's mocking, he's telling the truth.
Do you know what it is though? I was speaking to someone yesterday about it, and they were like, why is the American fighters not promoted like we promote our fighters over here? I said, basically, America is like Europe. There's so many different countries. Every state is like a country. So you're not going to see England like giving like a big promotion to a German fighter or a French fighter, because it's not one of your own. So in America, if you're from LA and someone's from New York, the champion's from New York, they don't care about the champion in New York. They care about LA. They want to boost their state. You want to boost your country.
True. That's true.
So,
but what you're saying is, like, but the British fans do give the dues to fighters, like just looking back a couple of weeks ago to the Usyk fight. Like, how much respect did he get for beating Tony Bennett? Like,
came over here.
And I think he's been on the road like his last however many fights, and like he's had like one of the best years. Like he's fought 3 world champions this year
in their backyard.
In their backyards, who's had a better year in probably for a long time like that. So
I would say though, Tyson Fury's reputation has absolutely just smashed Anthony Joshua right now. I think there's a lot of, this is for me, in my opinion, there's a lot of B-side fans that ride on Anthony Joshua, and that annoys me.
Yeah.
That annoys me.
I mean,
we don't want to go too deep.
Yeah.
Alright, fair.
I mean, it annoys me, but yeah.
But the thing is that, what I'm trying to say is that I think Tyson Fury's clout is much more better now, in a better state than it was before the whole this whole fight, because really and truly there was a lot of people that was on Anthony Joshua, so I was saying like the clout is more with
like the difference between the two for me is just like Joshua seems like he's refined and like he's built up like a media training, like he's got like, whereas Fury is real. Like everything you get off him, he might sound like a complete idiot 1 minute, like, but it's just who he is. Like you seem like you feel like away from the cameras and everything else, like Anthony Joshua might be a different person, but that's just how he comes across to me, and how they both come across really.
true.
I mean, even Wilder, you feel like he's quite who he acts up, and that's who he is. Like he doesn't seem false. He just seems quite genuine. Like, and I think that shows through in the end. Sort of thing. Go on.
No, go on. You go.
Who's the #1 heavyweight in the world?
Fury.
Tyson Fury.
I'd agree.
Yeah.
I mean, he's the man to beat.
Yeah.
Until he talks a lot about this lineal champion.
Yeah, he loves that.
And I've got to say, like, I'm like fully behind it. Like, but even like you've got to beat.
Yeah.
Like Joshua didn't get his titles by beating who had them. Fair enough. Like he's beaten the man that he beat Klitschko, but
that was a vacant for W. It was vacant. Martin, that was a vacant bout. Practically.
So he's only beaten one person, which is Joseph Parker, because Joseph Parker was the W.
Yeah.
But he got gifted that as well.
Yeah. So
remember he fought was it Ruiz or something? He fought for that.
I don't even want to start.
That was a
But the thing is, like, a lot of boxing that you watch in this country is Sky TV, and he is their poster boy. You put on your Sky TV box, his face pops up. He's like front of the sport category on Sky TV. You can't get away from. And when Fury won his title against Klitschko, it wasn't. Klitschko's finished. Like he was not in the race. Fury was. They didn't really praise Fury. They just said, he was so awkward.
No, but they ripped him to shreds. They started bringing up old stuff he said in the past. It was like he just won the belt.
Yeah,
and straight away you're talking about, you said bad things about homosexuals, women. It's like, why is he bringing up all this now? They didn't want him to be champion. They hoped he would lose. Because they didn't want that. They didn't want him representing boxing. And that was it. Period.
As soon as the fight was announced for Klitschko against Joshua, look at his history, and then even after the fight, it was the old Klitschko. He beat the Klitschko of old. Not someone who'd been cleanly outboxed by Tyson Fury, a year earlier or whatever, that was completely like, how does that shatter your confidence? Like, and then he went in there and he pretty much, it was kind of a 50-50 fight with Joshua throughout the whole way through. I mean, he was outboxing him, but Joshua, it was kind of
going back to, I think Klitschko, if it was a younger Klitschko would have cleaned him out, to be honest, because when he was hurt. The thing, didn't
he say his brother told him just take your time? He's got no energy.
He looked done.
Yeah.
Josh got his second win. That's what it was. He got the second win.
I think it was just their kind of their styles in that Klitschko is very apprehensive and very defensive, and you kind of whereas Anthony Joshua was behind. But the other thing, like in that fight, was like the scorecards.
Had Joshua.
Would Fury get a fair shake? Would Fury get a fair shake? I mean,
he's got to knock him out.
Everything's against him. Everything's against him. He went to Germany, against a
9 years.
I mean, Klitschko's not a German fighter, but he's basically the home fighter. He's boxed his whole career there. They adore him. Like, it was a away fight.
Didn't Tony Weeks deduct a point from Tyson Fury?
For he hit my head.
11th round. It was so dark. That was even.
I mean, he got the decision out there, which is notoriously hard to do. And then he's gone out to Deontay Wilder's backyard and
got a draw.
Got a draw, but really
even better.
I thought that was my next question. What was the better performance, the Klitschko or the Wilder performance?
Wilder, but it's just the knockdown.
I mean, he was much more impressive throughout the fight than he was. I mean, Klitschko, he kind of he did what needed to be done. He fought the perfect fight, really, because he smothered a lot of what Klitschko, and he kept him off balance and just held when in close. But
and we know Klitschko technically very good. So wasn't he Olympic champion?
Yeah.
So he's got the foundation. So he couldn't let him box. Whereas Wilder.
Yeah, but Wilder, like everyone says, like Wilder's not like technically, but he was a bronze medal in the Olympics. He lost the fighter he lost to in the Olympics was an Italian fighter. He beat Usyk in the round previous before he fought Wilder. So I mean, like you could say like the pro game is different, I suppose, in that like Anthony Joshua won an Olympic gold medal, like, but
that again. Judges on that one.
Yeah,
I'm happy that he won. I'm happy that he won. But anyway,
it was the Anthony Joshua t-shirt you were wearing.
I'm dealing white face.
So who wins the rematch?
Took the words out of my mouth. There's so many like variables going into. Does Wilder change his game? Is he more accustomed to Fury's style now that he's been with him? I mean, he caught him in the last round. Will he know how to catch him the second time round? Would Fury even like? I mean, Wilder said that that was the best Fury, but that wasn't the best Wilder. But throughout the whole build-up, we weren't meant to be getting the best Tyson Fury. This is Fury past it and gone. And now he's back. I mean, he's going to have even more.
I want to give a little bit of credit to Ben Davison. Ben Davison, Tyson Fury's coach. Yeah, I feel that really and truly. I've followed, not even I followed him. I've read up about Ben Davison, and obviously I think he's part of the whole MTK thing with MTK Global, and he's got a few fighters. And what he does in terms of getting people in fit, he's proper the man. Like Ricky Hatton even said, Ben Davison is the man that will get you fit. 26-year-old even said that he had Ricky Hatton in the corner, and he had what's his face, Freddie Roach, and he's like, look, I am the man.
I was impressed how they worked together.
Yeah, that was impressive
so because
they give no egos involved.
But the thing is to have like someone of the stature of Freddie Roach
in that corner, wasn't he?
Yeah, but in that corner, and for someone of the stature of Ben, who
really isn't like that.
Yeah, it was one or two words from Freddie, one or two words from Ricky in the corner, and then it was so well worked.
I heard him talk when he was in the corner. I heard him. He was the vocal person. He was like basically he kept on control, and I really give big props to him because I feel that was an absolute. I don't know what game plan it was. The game plan that he put up was really good.
He looked really devastated at the end of the fight. He was so devastated. I think he was more devastated than. Because he said, I heard an interview after with him that they told him it was going to be a draw before it was read out, and he was just like, because he asked Lennox Lewis maybe. He said, "What? How did you?" He said, "Oh, I've got Tyson." And he said, he asked Floyd Mayweather. Floyd Mayweather apparently laughed like he's got it. They heard that Showtime had him up. And then obviously he was just like. And then he heard that it was a draw before they read it out.
He's a young coach. I think that he's got. Well, from that fight right, his stock is risen. He'll definitely get Tyson Fury.
So who wins the rematch?
I can't be sure. Rematch. I don't think the rematch is going to happen, but obviously I'm definitely putting my hands in my pocket. Putting my hands in my pocket. Tyson Fury all day. Yeah.
All right. I say Fury simply because what I've been trying to explain to people, when you have a boxing brain and you fight against someone, you collect data. Look at every big rematch in history. Well, not every, but the notable ones. Whenever there's been a rematch, the better boxer with the better brain makes it easy. Like
Canelo, Triple G.
That fight was still close. Let's go back.
I'm gonna go back this. I thought the better boxer won that fight. The cleaner shots were coming from.
Yeah, but again, Triple G was landing the jab all day. Anyway, let's take.
So
let's look at Duran Leonard. The second fight. The boxer totally took over. He didn't know what to do. Mayweather Maidana too. Mayweather, Castello, all his rematches. Easy.
But just to play devil's advocate with you here, Wilder's previous fight that went 12 rounds.
Oh, Stefan. but that's different. No, remember, Stefan hadn't fought in 2 years.
Yeah.
Stefan, sorry. He hadn't fought in 2 years. Yeah. He was rusty coming in.
Yeah, and it's a different.
Did he have a boxing brain though?
Yeah. I'm just trying to play the flip side to what you're saying.
15 or something like that. I think it was ranked high in the WBC, but overall it was like ranked 15. And I hadn't boxed in 2 years. Okay.
Right. Are we entering a golden generation for heavyweight boxing now? And another golden generation?
100%.
I hope so.
I mean, you've got the 3 big names. We've got some kind of up and coming fighters. We've got like a level just below them. We've got like Usyk moving up from probably cruiserweight. Like, is it? Are they all gonna fight each other? Like Wilder, Fury, Joshua. Are they all gonna go around and like? Is it a golden? Are they all gonna fight each other? And are we gonna get?
I feel like the fighters are not scared to lose their O, which is the promoters that have always made things difficult. Fury, Wilder, they stepped in the ring. They didn't want to lose their O. I honestly believe Joshua and Wilder want to fight, but it's the promotional teams that have made it difficult. Like, they're boxers. They're fight for free. Like, just to prove that they're the best.
Yeah.
The money is great, but you don't get into boxing thinking, oh, I'm going to be a millionaire, because you have to get right to the top. First thing you think is, I want to be a champion. I want to be the best. You win levels, and then you go up and up and up, and then you're like, do you know, it's the same with football. You start off like, I want to be a professional. You become a professional. Oh, I want to be top goal scorer. You get that. I want to win the league. You get that. I want to be European Player of the Year. Then it's the Ballon d'Or. You just kind of,
the money's the byproduct of it. Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah.
External factors. Yeah, I still feel that there was a quite decent names that are obviously up and coming. Obviously Joe Joyce won in round 1. Then there's Baby Miller as well. I know. Just throwing the names out. Yeah. Just throwing the names out.
Ortiz is still there.
Ortiz is there. He looked very, very
Dylan White.
You got Joseph Parker again. Not really a big fan, but he's still there.
Lucas Brown.
Sorry. But I don't think it's going to be the golden age where Lennox Lewis, Riddick Bowe, and all of those were fighting. I watched the history.
I don't know. I think it could be better than like I was thinking more of like Ali, Frazier, Foreman, like, and then you had like Ken Norton and Ernie Shavers, Larry Holmes.
No,
like,
do you know the difference is? I feel they all had a chin. I don't feel these heavyweights have a chin anymore.
The fighters like then were probably the same size as well, they were like cruiserweights. There was no cruiserweight division. They were a lot smaller. Like, I mean, coming through to like Lennox Lewis and Riddick Bowe, they were like the first kind of
heavyweights.
Yeah.
They never actually fought, didn't they? Riddick Bowe and
they fought as amateurs in the Olympic final.
Yeah, they never ever fought as pros.
Did Lewis beat him in the Olympic final? I think was it or some?
Yeah, because Lewis was the gold medalist.
Yeah, he stopped him in the final, I think. But they were meant to fight and then Riddick Bowe threw his belt in the bin.
He didn't none of that.
So you don't feel it's going to be like they're all going to fight each other and we'll have like these epic mock fights to look back on where it was like.
I hope so, man. Like,
I think they might do.
I hope so.
I mean, there's big money to be made. The heavyweight is the division's back as the glamour division now. I think like there is really a lot of money to be made and a lot of big fights to be made. Even with like. The level below the top, the big 3, you've got like fighters coming through that could be made big fights of, and who on their day could possibly beat.
Got Chisora and White 2 coming up. When's that? 22nd. Yeah. So again, there's some real big fights, and as I said, going on from that first fight, that was absolutely amazing. So hopefully this one picks up from the first fight. I don't know. I'm really like fencing here.
Time will tell.
Yeah. Look, who's Brooke fighting this weekend?
I don't even know the name. I don't even know the name.
I've promoted some of it on my Instagram page. Instagram Reekz _boxing. Hey. But so Brooke wins this weekend, yeah.
I don't know who's fighting, mate.
He's gonna win this weekend.
Better do. That's a
but then he's just stuck in no man's land. It should have been like this should be a big fight now.
No,
you shouldn't be. Why should he be having a tune up? The last one was a tune up.
Yeah, true.
Radchenko.
It's like, I'm back, baby. Got itchy knuckles. Got itchy knuckles again.
Yeah, so
let's call it a day.
Yeah, let's call it a day, boys. Thanks for coming out.
There you go.
It's been fun. You know? Yeah, so that's the first episode done. Reekz Boxing podcast or sofa chat or chilling with the man them or there we go, Reekz Boxing. Let us know what you think in the comment section below.
Please do.
Like, subscribe, share the video. Obviously, if you like the video, if you don't,
keep it to yourself.
Fuck all y'all. Shit. Yeah, so yeah. Look forward to seeing you lot. Or you lot seeing me.
Bro, just wrap it up now.
I don't know, I feel like when you watch other people on YouTube and that, they probably have this like, they know how to close it. I don't really know what I'm doing.
Look out for the next episode.
Yeah, look out for the next episode.
Hey.